Anyways, Declan Sheehy-Moss, thank you so much.
Hello.
For coming on today and welcoming me into your beautiful apartment here in Carroll Gardens.
No problem.
Yeah, no,
Welcome.
You've lived in Carroll Gardens both of our entire lives. We've both lived in Carroll Gardens, and this is my first time.
Blocks away from each other.
Yeah, bro, literally on Court Street is where I live too.
No, but you didn't always live on Court, though, right? I thought you
I've
lived
always lived between Court and Clinton.
Oh, between Court and Clinton. Yeah.
Okay,
It was
yeah,
on,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Second place or
Fourth place.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Don't fucking
sorry.
come at me now.
Shit. I forgot about that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's where I live. It's
Yeah,
so.
692 fourth place, right?
Yeah. 692, right? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one, I think.
That's the one.
But no, it's so crazy being back in this neighborhood. I feel like, kind of as an adult now, because I feel like Carroll Gardens itself, we've watched in the last 20 years it transform from one thing to what it is now, like this extremely gentrified neighborhood. It's not just like sort of like up and coming thing now. It's extremely gentrified. And I also feel like this whole place is like a kid's utopia.
It's a family playground.
Yeah.
It's like a kid's playground. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah, it's like so many children.
Yes,
so
everywhere. And when I was a kid, I was really fucking with it, right? I was like, this is sick. We got Carroll Park. We got my friends here. We got another elementary school over there. Okay, that's just the vibes, PS 29.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, I'm an adult. What am I doing here? Like with little kids.
Get out of the way. Like, fucking, if you go anywhere between like 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. or like 2 p.m. and 4 p.m.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's either going or leaving school.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just can't, like,
3 p.m. is a horde of people.
Yeah. It's fucked. Like,
and I think there's two things in this neighborhood. There's little kids and there's really good restaurants. I think that's like, it's just those two things really. And really nice estates. Yes.
And super expensive brownstones.
Oh my God.
Like
the brownstones. I was on, what was it?
Yeah.
What's the site that you go on? A site where you look at house prices. It's not like I use that. Yeah, ZipRecruiter or not ZipRecruiter. What am I saying? Zillow, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the prices of houses and I'm like, holy crap. Because I think typically when I've looked at house prices, it would be like some fantasy place in California.
Right.
That you see some mansion that's like, oh, $2 million mansion you can get in California. And I'm like, houses here are like $2-3 million easy. What?
Yeah.
It's
here.
just
not in the hills of Beverly.
And it's like for this like tiny little just thing that's in a block of others, like, wow, that's crazy.
Literally.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, we had a great deal on our last apartment because my parents were at that last apartment for like 30 plus years. So like since like the mafia was like still running the fucking, Cobble Hill and like the Italian mob, all that. So they were getting a great deal on rent, but then the landlords were literally like all of a sudden didn't even tell us. We're just like, yeah, we're selling the building. Like you have to move out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's been 33 years. Like you're literally just not even going to give us any notice and just like kick us out essentially.
No.
Like, I mean, we could have stayed for longer, but like we just wanted to get it quick because like obviously it's stressful to move and shit. So, but yeah, this neighborhood like coming back as I'm still not like that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how it's gonna be once I'm like fully out of school and like just living life.
Yeah.
Because all I've known is like being in high school or like being and living here, like
place to go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So
going
it's
here to the city was nothing because
yeah.
the city. It felt like I had something to do every day. One thing we were in high school was very occupied with our time.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
So you didn't have much time to think about. Oh, I'm getting older. My neighborhood is filled with 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Now you're even older, and you have all that time to think about it. There's also no places to really go out to drink around here.
No bars. Yeah.
It sucks.
It really sucks. It really sucks. It really sucks.
If you want to like have fun, and not like travel like 45 minutes, but
I've been going to this place. It's on Bergen and between 5th and 4th Avenue, near Barclays Center or like Park Slope. It's a little far. It's like 15-minute walk.
Okay, but Bergen and 5th and 4th Avenue,
but it's
that's
not far.
Yeah, that's great.
And there's this place called like the North Pole Pub or something.
Okay.
It's like they give you me and my friend Pierre, we've been like going like just for the last like 6 months or so. It's like a shot and a beer for $5.
$5 is great. We love that.
Shot and a beer, vodka, tequila for and a beer for $5.
But is the environment fun? Is it crowded?
Well, I feel like it's probably going to start to get more crowded because it gets colder.
Uh-huh.
And, like, but they have an outdoor one of those things like on the street where it's like outdoor seating, and they have just a window to the bar, so you can just go knock on the window and just be like, "Yo, let me get a beer, let me get this," and they'll just bring it to the window, and you can just sit outside. So it's like
that's sick.
I've still like we went last week and we were just still sitting outside because it wasn't like that
great.
cold out.
No, so I like a little chill, man.
Yeah, so we were just like hanging, like you know, smoking,
doing your thing,
chilling outside. Like so, it's a nice. They have like a foosball table and stuff inside, but like we've never hung out inside.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, we'll have to kick it there. What's the name of it again?
North Pole Pub.
North Pole Pub. Shout out North Pole Pub.
Shout out North Pole Pub.
Hey,
they're
good vibes.
Yeah, good vibes, cheap drinks. What more could you ask for in this neighborhood?
Yeah, right? Absolutely. So what were your early impressions, at least growing up in this neighborhood?
Well, it definitely, I knew it was like the rich neighborhood.
Okay.
Know? Like compared to like, you know, my friends are living in like Bay Ridge or like Gravesend or like other places, and I'm like. But we didn't necessarily have that much money, so like I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
why
yeah.
Are we, like, why
is this happening?
Sense? Yeah. Like, why is this happening? But I was always like, I live a block away from my elementary school. I live like 10 minutes away from my middle school.
Yeah.
And so it was great. But then like LaGuardia, like high school, and I was like, oh, I'm actually nowhere near like, anything. Anywhere, like no one ever wants to chill in this neighborhood. Like,
no,
it's
never.
Like Manhattan, Williamsburg, whatever, like Brooklyn, fucking any other
I felt
place.
like when we got to high school, though, a lot of the Manhattan kids felt obliged to take on a bit of Brooklyn culture, a bit of Brooklyn energy.
They definitely did, because a lot of the Brooklyn people also refused to go to places in Manhattan.
Yes.
Like, my friend group, they were like, wait, no, we outnumber the Manhattan people. Like, you're coming to Brooklyn.
You're coming here.
Yeah, why are we just staying in Manhattan all the fucking time?
Makes no sense.
Yeah, so you're right about that. That definitely happened.
Did you start playing saxophone in elementary school?
Yeah, in elementary school, yeah.
Okay. And so that was the first instrument you ever played?
I played drums before that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When I was like 5 or 6, my grandma bought me a drum set before I was like into music or whatever. And I was doing that. I just, you know, was fucking 5 years old.
Yeah, just
fucking around.
playing with it. Yeah.
And then my fucking elementary school had this crazy thing that was like, you can miss your lunch period one time or your recess period one day a week and learn an instrument instead.
Hell yeah.
And I'd already was doing drums, so I was like, let me just try saxophone. They had drums too, but I was like, I'm already doing drums, so let me try saxophone.
Okay.
And that's how it began. 4th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were incentivized at the time to miss recess to play saxophone?
Isn't that insane? I
don't know if I'd ever. Yeah, you were.
Recess.
Okay, wow.
Isn't that insane?
That's crazy.
I know.
I look at kids, actually, now that I'm like 20 years old living in this neighborhood. 22 this Saturday, which is crazy.
Oh.
I know. It's
Happy
my birthday.
birthday,
Yeah,
bro.
thank you,
That's
bro.
fire.
I appreciate it.
Nice.
But
Nice.
wild, I'm looking at kids in recess at PS 58 and just looking at how like mild the activities are, right? Like they're like running, like playing tag, like shooting a basketball like 8 inches
like,
in the air.
Volunteers just making sure everything's like chill.
Yeah. But I remember when I was in elementary school and it was recess time, the amount of excitement I would have every freaking day. And I just see it on their faces.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best. That's why it's so weird. That's like, why did me, and not even just me, but like 15 other people, like we're also doing just saxophone. Like the other instruments, they had like flute, clarinet, drums, trumpet. Like they had all. It's like, why were all these kids voluntarily opting out of the best, like non-negotiably the best part of the day, like as a child, like, where you get to run around? Like I don't know, but I'm glad I did, because
definitely
it somehow led me to this.
So you don't remember what you were feeling that drew you to it? You just.
I mean, I remember I was like, I want to do this for sure. I was like, I already play an instrument, but should I do drums? Should I do saxophone? And I was like, I'm already doing drums. There was never any, in my mind, there was never any like hesitation of like the recess thing for some reason. I don't remember being like torn. But I do remember every day I had recess, literally being the first one to like sprint out of the fucking doors and like grab a soccer pen and like
get to it.
Like, or, like a basketball, like like
wow, what a sacrifice. of young Declan at the time, man.
And it was 2 years though.
Yeah.
It was 4th and 5th grade.
Wow. Yeah. And so this was every recess, or?
It was once a week, one recess.
Okay.
So
okay.
it was just one recess.
Yeah.
I still had 4 days of recess.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, what was wrong with me? Like, what was wrong with me? Why did I do that? You know?
Okay, but then you started to get an affinity for saxophone, and you went to MS-51, right?
I went to MS-51.
Nowadays, okay, people that aren't from New York probably won't understand this, but it is so competitive, man, to get into an elementary school and then a middle school and then a high school. Like, I don't know, when I was in 10th grade, I went back to 447, and it was just the MS 447. People from Brooklyn will know what that is. But it was my middle school, and I just saw a line of people around the block just for the open house. Wow. Dog, for the open house. And they're saying, like, oh, the competition to get into this school now, you wouldn't even know, Nick. I'm like, what the heck is this? It's really, when I tell people that aren't from New York that I applied to middle school, they freak out about that. But you went to 51, which I think objectively is like one of the best middle school experiences people could have.
It certainly was. You know, a lot has changed actually with MS-51. I'm not sure about 447, but it used to be with the middle school zoning. This is really boring.
Okay,
it's pretty good, but also bad in a way. Basically, more white kids than people of color would be getting into the neighborhoods because like it would be based on neighborhood. So like if you live closer to 51, like the white neighborhoods are closer to 51.
For sure.
You'd more likely have a chance of being zoned for that school, right? So that was making it so it was way more white people being led into 51, which was hailed as like one of these great schools that people wanted to go to, right?
Yeah.
So they made it so it's completely random. It's a number drawing system, and you from anywhere in Brooklyn, you can now be like, what do you call it? Not, I want to say drafted, but like like let in, accepted.
Accepted.
And
but it's still an application after the lottery drawing.
It's an application before, I think, the lottery drawing. Then it's the lottery drawing.
Oh my God, bro!
You could live in Sunset Heights or Sunset Park and be zoned to PS29, or you could live here and be zoned to a place in Queens. You know what I mean? Like, which is terrible because of the commutes and how far away it is. Yeah. But it does make it more accessible to people who don't live in the immediate area. Yeah. So it's changed the school a lot. As far as I know, I haven't been back in a while,
but just for the people listening to this that aren't from New York, just fathom this. It's middle school. And you need to not only submit an application to just get into this nice school that the coolest thing about it is that this is a school with like a big playground.
And like an arts program too.
And a really
like
good arts
music,
program.
Chorus, art, like drama, like whatever. Photography, like which is pretty crazy.
It's really photography in middle school.
I know.
That's sick. But it should be a thing.
As it should be,
especially nowadays. Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, that's an interesting thing to talk about. Like, we should really alter our education at such a young age now, because everything has kind of been shifted or geared into the arts in some way. Every business, every single way of making money has to be marketed creatively on social media.
Totally. And that takes a lot of skills that you would pick up if you're just in an artistic
environment at a young age.
Exactly.
Yeah. We were just talking about it. Just starting it at a young age just gives you such a big advantage or such a leg up than when you're like 19, 20, you don't really know what you're good at, what you want to do, and then you're like, okay, I just want to do something fun. Let me try something with the arts, and then it's a whole learning curve at that point.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah. But so what do you think your middle school experiences was like if you were to sum it up?
Well, I almost didn't get into 51.
Wow. Well, how'd that happen?
I was stupid, but I auditioned for. First of all, you have to audition and interview at these schools too. So it's like and apply and then
middle school
for middle school. So
God.
so I did do that, but I also auditioned at like New 447, New Voices. I don't remember New Voices, all these other Brooklyn schools, and I was like, well, whatever, these will be fine. And then I remember at my MS-51 interview, I was like, you remember? Or do you know? I guess you wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't know these people. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
People were like telling me just like, oh, like this teacher's trash, like this like blah, blah, blah. And when I went to the interview, this teacher that interviewed me was like the well known as like after I went to the school, or when I went to the school, I knew her as like everyone knew her as like the bitch PE teacher who like is actually so mean, like, for no reason.
Okay.
Like old ass, like weathered, just like asshole lady. And she was my interviewer. Oh. So I was just like, I had like the worst vibes from her. Yeah. You know what I mean?
From the start.
Yeah. And I was like, so I was like, do I even want to go here? Like this place seems trash. So I actually put New Voices first because I really fucked with New Voices when I went to tour it. I was like, yo, this is a nice environment, like whatever. And then when it came out, I got into New Voices, not 51. And I was like, wait, this is a mistake. I want to go to, like, I realized all my friends were going to 51. Oh. And I was like, wait, why did I?
Yeah, why did I do that? Yeah.
So I did, what do you call it? Like, where you do the thing where you like appeal it, I guess. Yeah, you can appeal your decision for me.
Wow.
Like a court case. Like you can literally be like, nah, I don't. That's wrong.
Okay.
So I did that, and Melanie, the principal of PS29 of my elementary school, used to be the vice principal of 51. So and we had a good relationship with her. So we like told her, she like pulled some strings somehow, and my mom just got a call one day that was like, okay, I got you an interview for 51. Like, you need to go, but it's today, right now. You need to go. And so we just like ran over. Yeah. I did the audition for music and for drama. You have to audition for 2, I think. So I did like music, drama. And initially I actually had drama first on my list too. And then literally with no one telling me, right after I did both auditions, I switched music to be first on the list and drama to be second. Oh. Where it was like my parents, everyone wanted drama first. Because I had done drama at PS39 too. You know, I did like a play. Yeah. Like, and I was like in that, and I was like, oh, pursuing that. And so I literally could have had drama first, and then I was like, you know what? I like the music teacher so much, like, fuck it, I'm a fucking...
Wow.
And then I got music. And I heard later from talking to the drama teacher, if I had written first for drama, like whoever you write first for, they have the like power to take
accept you or not. Yeah.
And so if I had, he was like, yeah, you would have been in charge. So literally that decision
crazy
might have made it so that I wasn't an actor and I was a musician instead.
Wow. Just could have altered everything.
Yeah. So I almost didn't get into 51. Then I almost was a drama student at 51. Yeah. But it worked out the way it worked out. So it's kind of crazy. I
hearing that story, actually, so when I was on my way here, I was listening to your music on Spotify. I just had to like refresh myself.
Appreciate that.
And I was also like running. Like I was like kind of late, right? Carrying all that stuff, all my
Google
equipment
Maps
on the way here.
Dirty.
Google Maps sent me in the wrong direction, right? Like the complete wrong direction. And I was in like that hustle bustle New York state where you're running around, like you said, we got to go now to
you got
school.
Gear, you got like somewhere to go.
And I'm listening to your music. I'm like, this is kind of matching my vibe right now. Like,
that's good.
Is that from an early age? Is that something, or are those feelings that have stuck with you that you try and evoke in your emotion or evoke in your music? Sorry,
that's a good question. Honestly. Not like on purpose. Yeah. You know? Because like obviously, well, not obviously, but I've just never thought about like growing up in New York and how that would rub off on the kind of music you create. Because like something that makes me think about is like the free jazz experimental scene is like crazy in New York. Yeah. And that makes me think like that fits the vibe of New York entirely. Like just like insane, just expression, like fucking crazy, like free music that has no rhythm or tempo or time. It's just like people expressing themselves. Like that's New York, like and so it makes a lot of sense that sort of
that's how I would come out. It.
That's how you interpret it, but also that's what because like your life experiences determine your art and like how you are, right? So if you grow up in Illinois or in Ohio, it's gonna be way different for you as a person than if you grow up here. Yeah. Same thing with your art. Yeah. If I grew up in Ohio or the middle of nowhere or even LA or something, I'm sure my art would have been like, if it was in LA, it was like, oh, chill, lo-fi, like I'm smoking weed, just like surfing all day. Yeah. If it was in the Midwest, I don't know, it would probably be like either some crazy experimental shit because I'd be super like repressed or like, I don't know, boring ass like country music. And then here it's like, I don't know, it's very clear that sort of, that New York the New York energy sort of resonates and rubs off on your art and your creative. So like that actually just made me think about that. You saying that. I never thought about that, but
oh, really?
that's a good point.
Never thought about that with your music? I thought that was like the theme of your music when I was listening to it. Like, actually,
no,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that.
Do you think like art really works like that? Like, it's not something you can target when you're making like a frequency. That's literally what you're doing when you're making music. When you're creating that frequency, it's not something you can target. It's just something that comes out naturally, or at least from your experience.
I think it's probably different for every person who makes music. I would guess, but yeah, for me, I mean, I don't know. I barely ever know what to think about when I'm like the hardest thing for me is honestly writing lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like I don't have anything, like I have interesting thoughts, but never when I want to have them. You know what I mean? Like, I always write down like some interesting thoughts I have, or like song lyrics, and I'm like, word, this would be great. And then I'm like trying to write lyrics, and I'm like, how do I feel right now?
Yeah.
Like, oh, come back. Like, I have like a bubble in my throat, but like, you know, just like, and like, what am I even talking about? Like, what do I want to talk about? Where's the point of this? Like, what is this song even about? Like, more I tend to write music, I think, just for the, like, or when I'm thinking of sonically how it feels and sounds.
That's just
but never what it's like about or what the meaning of it is. I'm just like, does this sound good? Do I like it? Does it feel good? And I'm worried about like mixing it right and making it like all the parts like blend or balance.
Yeah.
The one thing that I never, which my masterclass teacher at Purchase this year has really kind of been like digging into me or like in my head, which is like, you need to have a plan sort of for what is the goal or the point of the overall song? Like, is it like a jokey sort of song?
Yeah.
Is it like a serious thing that you need to have like actual serious story and lyrics? Do you want people to take it seriously? Do you want people to take it as a parody? You know, like you have to have that intention when you're making the song. Otherwise, how do you know, like what comes out could just be like sort of a mix and not really defined and not really able to be received by an audience. Because what you want to do is have it be picked up by an audience, whether that's like someone who loves pop music or someone who loves experimental music or parodies or rap or whatever.
Right.
So if it's like kind of undefined, it's harder for people to latch on.
Oh, for sure.
To that.
I can see it in both ways, because there's literally people that have industries, their whole careers are off manipulating what they want to make and manipulating the public into like knowing what they're going to like and knowing what they're going to latch onto and knowing what they can, so they see the whole vision before they even start the music, which
is insane. I don't have that vision yet. Personally.
Just knowing how much the public will react. Because
or even just having like a crazy idea and just being like, yes, I'm going to go for like, I'm not going to be embarrassed or like shy, whatever. I'm just going to do this. And like, that's why it works. It's because they're just saying like, fuck it, basically. And it's like, I'm just gonna do this insane project and like not care about whatever I do. And then like people love it. Cause like, it's nothing's held back from it in a way.
Yeah. You know and it seems like the people that do stuff like that just go completely off what anyone else is thinking and could care less.
Yeah.
They're the people that we admire the most, but also when shit doesn't work for them, we're as critical as we can be on stuff like that.
That's the thing.
When it doesn't work, but success flips the switch in our minds of the people that interpret that art completely. But one thing I will say is that I've learned through doing like podcasting, doing just things in life where I'm just shooting my shot, really going for it, like doing what's on my mind, is that I'm always afraid beforehand. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to get a real reward out of anything in life if you're not afraid beforehand. True. You know, if you don't chase your fear, there's never going to be a real substantial reward on the other side. Think about how many things you've done in life where you know what the outcome is going to be beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never satisfying when that actually comes to face, you know?
Yeah.
But when you chase fear, it changes everything for you.
It's
you
true.
know?
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
No, that's
just a crazy thing. But like, how do you, being someone that started playing music first, I get why things just come to you sonically. But like, how do you think you kind of formed your own frequency as an individual artist? Like, that's hard.
I asked myself
that's a real hard process, I imagine.
The thing is, you can't do it on purpose. You know what I mean? You can't try to do it, basically, because then you're copying someone else, or you don't. So like, so many times in the last 4 years, I've been like, what is my, like, I just want to sound like, what is my sound like?
Right.
And then when I talk to anyone about it, they're like, what do you like? You have a, what do you mean? Like, that is your sound. What you put out, like that, like, none of your music can be directly compared to any one artist of another style. You know what I mean? Like, and unless you're literally recreating a song that's already been made and put out, like note for note, production technique to production technique, if you're doing exactly the same, you're still gonna have your, your decisions and your little, quirks and stuff that you put into it. I mean, so I think no matter what you do, even by accident, you're going to have your own sound. Unless you're literally the person who made the other song and you're making the exact same song again, then maybe you'll do it the exact same way. But if you're if you're an individual who's creating something, you have a sound. You just don't. It's just very hard to know that you do and to know what it is. And the best thing for you to do, or I think the best thing that I've learned for me to do, is just keep doing it and don't worry about your sound, because especially like, this nowadays, genres are just like, what is a genre?
They don't exist. Yeah.
It's like, it's impossible to like place my music in a genre.
No,
exactly.
Like jazz.
What would you
ish?
It's like an offset of that. It's like pop, electronic, jazz, funk. It's like, how can you?
No, you can't. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, how can you give yourself a sound or a voice? It's like, you know what I mean? Just as you put stuff out, your voice is developing.
Your sound will cultivate itself.
Yeah. And
that makes total sense.
And by listening to, think about this. No one's ever sat down. This is what I was talking to my friend Nico about this, actually. Shout out Nico. No one ever wrote a piece of music without hearing music beforehand. No one has ever like been out the womb, lived whatever, 15 years, never heard music before, and then it's like, I'm going to be a musician, and then made music. Because that just, you wouldn't know how to do it. You need to hear it to know how to do it. Just like you know how to weld before you weld or whatever, right? So the crazy thing about that is everything you listen to in your life is part of your sound and part of your, what drive, you're borrowing from that.
Yeah.
It's like, say you just listened, like people back in the day, like Mozart, whatever. Yeah. Just listening to classical music and shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's all he heard. So that is what his sound was. He did it differently because he's an individual. But he was just going off all the stuff he already heard. It's not original. Nothing's an original idea because you're hearing, right? I mean.
Yeah, in that sense.
Yeah.
In that sense, when you say it like that.
I listened to Herbie or all the jazz, all the fusion, all the pop, all the rap, whatever. That has then influenced my music making, because what else would? Everything that you've listened to. Otherwise, how do you make music?
Yeah.
You know?
So, and that's viewing it on a level that is so subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't ever take into account that we're learning and growing subconsciously, even though we are, because we can't quantify that. Yeah. Like, we can't really.
It's in the name, subconscious. It's not in your conscious. Like, it's literally subconsciously.
But I love the way you say that, because, I think when you hear a new artist and you hear something completely different that you haven't heard before, right? Like, I think a couple examples of artists that I hear that are so out there and so original with their sound is like 070 Shake was Playboy Cardi, right? Like stuff like that. Right. Like, that's just so out there. It's like, who thought of doing this, right?
Yeah.
But it seems effortltly. You know what I mean? To come up with something like that. It seems like they're saying like 3 words, right? And then it's just like, oh, this is hitting on another degree. I know. Right? I know. But if you ask someone, go create a new sound, go do that, create a new frequency. Yeah. It's impossible.
I mean,
it's impossible to just come up with on the spot. Yeah. So the way you described how the sound manifests itself, over time of everyone has a different sound. It just, you're going to go through the processes differently, even if it's like a slight tinker here or something there. The process in which you make it just changes slightly.
And nothing else, and nothing is fully original. Yeah. So just expose yourself to whatever you like and whatever art you like, and like, yeah, you will create an original piece of music. If you are listening to other people, I mean, I just said nothing is original, but you'll create your own sound is what I meant.
Okay.
You'll garner your own sound.
Yes.
By not creating original music, by listening to other people, because no piece of music is original.
Okay.
And you've all been influenced
that's a
by
great
someone,
that's a great lesson right there. That's a great point.
You've all borrowed from, every artist has borrowed from someone they look up to, or an artist they,
because it's impossible not to.
It's impossible not to.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of art we like, what was your Spotify Wrap this year?
Oh, dude,
speaking on that,
just looked at
that away. Hold up. You looked at this yesterday, right? So Spotify Wrap came out yesterday. It's pretty much one of my favorite times of the year, to be honest. Really? If you're not participating in it, I don't know. I don't think it's ever cringe or weird of someone to post like their Spotify Wrap. My Spotify Wrapped, I was not happy with it, but I was happy with parts of it. I feel like that's what everyone's thing is. Because I think about during the year, like, this is going to go on my Spotify Wrapped. I got to grind this musician out because it's going to be on my Spotify. I was so disappointed with some of the people that didn't show up for me. Marlon Craft was a rapper I listened to so much throughout the year. Didn't even pull up in my top 5.
That's what, honestly, my girlfriend and I this morning, we were like, or last night we were looking at hers and mine, and we were like, how are some of these artists not on here? I feel like I've listened to them way more than these other artists, but it's like,
Drake
I don't know.
finds a way on everyone. That is so sus.
Not mine.
Okay, wait. What's your Spotify Wrap? Let's compare Spotify
No one's
Wraps.
gonna know who these people are. Look, like, so the top,
okay, but I think that's a good thing if no one knows who your artists are.
Check these people out.
Okay.
Right? So wait, it's like the top 5? Is that?
What's your top 5 artists?
Oh,
yeah, that happened.
Sorry.
And then songs.
Doorbell. Okay, so I'm trying to find. It's annoying how they do this whole like slideshow thing where you have to like, you know what I mean? Like, can I just see it? Show me it. And then like, it's like, where is it? It's like 9 slides. Oh, it's this one. Okay.
Okay. We could do top 5 artists and then top 5 songs.
Okay. So, how do I pause this? There we go.
Okay.
So my top number 1, Lewis Cole.
Lewis Cole.
Lewis Cole.
Why do I not know that name? But I feel like I've heard it.
He is not that big, but he's sort of in the last 5 years come up a little bit.
And so he's your number 1. Like, why is he your number 1?
He's been my number 1 every year for the last at least 2 or 3 years.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. He's my favorite artist, I'd say.
Okay.
Like
of all time.
In terms of how I want my music to.
Yeah.
Like the vibe, I want my personal music, not like the say like experimental jazz. Like I want to play free jazz and other stuff, but like for my own written compositional produced music, I love his songwriting and production, and he's a drummer, so he's an insane. He's like a robot on the drum. Like it's insane.
Wow.
So,
okay, I'm definitely gonna check out Lewis Cole.
Rex Orange Counties too.
Oh.
Because I was super into the new record, like the one with Tyler and the new record he put out earlier in the year. Yeah. I listened to that so much.
I mean, he's great, man. Yeah. He's great. He's like, well, not as a person, maybe.
Is he? Not? I don't know anything about his.
He got canceled this year,
He
bro.
did?
No. You just learned about this? And he's on your Spotify Wrapped? You didn't?
I mean, I don't like follow his personal life. Like, I listen to his music. I don't know.
I'm not even going to say what I think because I don't even want to speak on that. Yeah, live reaction. Rex Orange County.
No.
The song I've been listening to of his so much is Sycamore Girl. That's a really good song.
Damn, I'm not hip to that. Yeah. Okay.
That's his old
word.
On, I think, what record was it? It was Apricot something.
Yeah. Okay.
Apricot.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Apricot Sunshine.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
but that one's
there.
It's up and down, but there are some bangers on it. Anyways.
Yeah. There's a couple from that I really liked, and then the new. It's only on there because of the new stuff. Because I listened to. Let me open the window.
Yeah.
It's not worth it anymore. Those two were like on like for like maybe a couple weeks. all I was listening to in like the car and shit. Like I was just bopping to to that record. So that's why.
Okay.
Because I feel like I go through periods of like, I just dive into one artist like.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I'm the
and
same.
then it's like, I'll never know which one's gonna show up my Wrapped until the end or I never know which one I listen to more until the end. And I'm like, oh, it turns out I guess my deep dive on Rex Orange County was like more than any other artist. Like, great. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
But anyway.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Nowhere.
Nowhere. How do you spell that?
Like no.
Okay. No.
KNOW.
And then HER? ER.
Oh yeah, ER.
Nowhere.
Yeah,
Nowhere.
Yeah, Nowhere.
The Nowhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
but just Nowhere. Yeah.
Okay.
And funnily enough, it's a duo group.
Yeah.
And it's Lewis Cole's the drummer for the
Okay.
and there's a singer.
Okay.
So it's basically just
You're
another
a big
one of,
Lewis Cole guy. Big
It's
Lewis
basically
Cole
just another
guy.
one of his bands.
Okay.
But they do very different music. It's more like electronic dubsteppy, like really heavily produced electronic stuff.
Okay.
As opposed to like more songwriter, funky, like regular type of music.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
sick.
Yeah, so he has those two groups that I love both. I love both of them. So
Awesome.
those 3.
Okay.
John Keek. You heard John Keek?
Never heard John
Very
Keek.
small artist, California dude.
Chill vibes. What's the vibes?
It's like, it's weird. It's kind of like indie. I'll send you some stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
But definitely, he just released a new album a couple weeks ago, and there's some bangers on it. But I think his first project, he only has like 8 songs out.
Wow.
And 3 are from his first project.
And so you just listened to these 8 songs a lot this year.
Well, yeah. I listened to the 2 singles he put out were so good.
Yeah.
I was just like on those all the time. And then the record, there's like another 1 or 2 that I like on the record that I only listened to like 3 on the record. But I listened to them so much.
Yeah.
Like in the last month, like this. That was all happening in the last month because it just came out in the last month.
And he made it to your top 5. How many minutes were you at?
I think it was like 8,000 something. Not too many. Not too, actually,
very little.
Not as many as I would think. Yeah.
8,000?
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Right?
I mean, that's pretty weak, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, I saw a thing on Instagram that I was feeling like really kind of down about it because I saw a poll on Instagram. It was like, if you have 20,000 minutes or less, are you? And it was like insane or like an idiot. And I was like, what?
You just don't listen to music that much. It kind of makes sense.
When I do, I think.
Or on Spotify, you don't.
I listen to a lot of music in the car on CDs. I have a lot of.
Yeah.
CDs.
Okay. That's where it is.
And YouTube and like Facebook, I have like a lot of like saved videos that are like not songs, they're just like videos of like live performances. Yeah, but it's weak. I need to step it up.
No, definitely step that up.
It is weak.
Definitely step. But the people that are at like 100,000, chill. Okay, get a life.
No, those are the people who leave it like overnight. Probably.
I mean, like, I don't even know what you must be doing because I was at 36,000 and I listen to music all the time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I listen to it all the time though, and that was at like 36K. I think it's because
it's my life. I just can't listen to it that much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
like,
totally understand.
Like half of that time, maybe double that time, I'm like playing music. So
yeah.
It's like. Then once I'm done playing it, I don't necessarily just want to listen to it.
No, it's like, let's
like,
fucking zone out with music. Yeah,
totally.
Let's
watch a TV show. So maybe that's why.
No, there were artists that were like showing like they were like 70K and they're like, yeah, music is pretty much my life. like posting like
shit.
That. Yeah, really? Okay. And so who was number 5? Let's finish this off.
Thundercat.
Okay.
Someone everyone can get behind. Someone everyone knows.
If you don't like Thundercat, what are you doing?
No, I mean, I've been on his... every song of his for the last
You've been on Thundercat. I think you were the person that put me on to Thundercat. I'm not even lying. In high school. You were on that 6 or 7 years ago at least.
That's impressive. I never remember that. I remember like Snarky Puppy and like that
Snarky
was the people
Puppy.
We were all like,
you were really
holy shit.
Yeah.
Time.
So what are more artists that people should know about on the scene?
You mean
just
like
in general?
You mean just in general? I mean, I feel like you should definitely try to connect with smaller artists. Obviously, like that's hard to do, but like I don't know, if you have friends who are artists or musicians, or like if there's ever a group that's like not that big but you know about them and they're like playing a show, just go to the show. I mean, like, because who knows? I don't know. Like, first of all, you know how seeing shows live is like it's an
Changes
experience.
Yeah.
Then it's much more of an experience than listening on your phone.
Yeah.
So I think like even that is like it's worth getting to know some smaller groups and like off the top of my head, like I'll have to look at my Spotify because I don't even remember what I've been listening to half the time. But like Devin Morrison, I just discovered a song by him, super sick. Freaking who else? Nico Daglio, my friend I was just talking about. He's an insane producer.
Okay.
And he just released something this year, but he's releasing two EPs.
Wow.
Ready for next year. So, and he's insane. I'll listen to him.
Unreal.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
just check out.
Shout him out while we're here. Okay. But
yeah.
Let's transition for a sec. So, obviously, I've known a lot about you with music, but we also partake in a pretty competitive fantasy football league, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
That has been going on since high school. Okay, yeah. This is his reaction right now. He's having a bad year this year.
It's my worst year ever, by far. I've never been this bad. Like, yeah.
But, man, let's talk. Okay, so you're a big Giants fan, correct?
Correct.
Let's just say the Giants this year have just been good for New York. It's just been good energy.
It saved my fantasy football. It saved my like depressive state. If the Giants and my fantasy football was in the shit,
oh my
I don't
God.
know where I would be. But because the Giants are actually sometimes fun to watch on Sunday, it's
to be honest, sometimes I really hate having a fantasy team because I'm constantly looking at the game in a different lens. You know what I mean? I can't just like enjoy the game for being the game. And I'm just thinking about my fantasy players. It's like, so sometimes when I'm having a bad year and or I'm having a bad week, never have a bad year. But when I'm having a bad week, I'm like, all right, shut off the fantasy mindset. We could just focus on who's going to win this game right now.
When it's like,
when I'm done.
I should have asked this before, but I've been cursing a lot. But like, is it
okay? No, we can fucking curse all the fuck we want.
Okay, cool. Because I noticed you weren't really, and I noticed I was a lot. So I was like,
I try to avoid it, but like,
it's just
if it comes out, it comes.
So like part of me, it's Anyway, but if you're having a terrible week, you're just like,
fuck it.
I'm just gonna. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. But it's been atrocious for me. I've made trades. I've tried, and
made trades.
I'm gonna make it out to be that this year is an insanely weird year in football.
It is,
and
like every year.
No, but it's
These
different
days,
though.
What's so insane about this year,
dude? What do you mean? Like, I mean, there's just every good team that was supposed to be good is like struggling or under 500. All these bad teams are actually coming up and doing well, upsetting upsetting. I don't know. Right now,
the Giants,
the entire NFC
are really good.
East and NFC North, or no, not North. Two divisions.
Which team are you talking about?
No, I'm just like the entire division
are flip-flopped.
Are making the playoffs. The entire NFC East are making the playoffs. Yeah. And the entire
the West.
It's the AFC West, maybe. It's the one with what's the Dolphins and the that's the
AFC East. AFC East. Yeah, they're making the playoffs.
The AFC and NFC East. Every single team's in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean that's last year.
That's absurd.
The NFC East was the worst.
Yeah.
Division
that is very
in the
weird.
NFL.
Okay.
It's a weird year.
You got me there. On. It is a weird year.
Everyone thought Jonathan Taylor was gonna
explode.
Be the guy.
You did draft Jonathan Taylor first.
Who didn't? Basically. Who were you if you didn't? I mean, like, okay, I see like Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson, like other players on that level, but no one thought that wasn't, especially with Matt Ryan now, or all these upgrades.
No, and they have a great offensive line. Like no one thought Jonathan Taylor was going to be bad.
Yeah, Matt Ryan or the Colts, and yet they're terrible. So it's like same with the Packers, same with the Ravens, same with the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
like all these teams. The Rams.
The Ravens are all right, but the Rams suck. It's true. Fantasy has been flipped on its head in a lot of ways, but the biggest thing for me is that in fantasy football this year, that the wide receivers are so good. My tactic, every year is to just get two of the best running backs. Yeah,
that's what I did.
Yeah, you did that. I
did your strategy. I did the Nick Prince strategy, and the one year I did it,
Everything flopped
and
on his
I
head.
had first pick.
Yeah.
I had first pick.
Yeah.
That's never happened.
Yeah.
That probably won't happen. It's 12 people.
It should
What
show
are the
you, man.
chances?
It
Like,
should show you. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure picking first. Okay?
is.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to make the most of it.
Anyway. Yeah. I think I'm like 2-10 in our league. I'm in another league.
Yeah.
I'm with like my friends from the NEC in Boston who still do fantasy football.
Yeah.
And I'm like not out of it. I'm like I think I'm maybe like 5-7 or like I'm a couple games out of making to the playoffs. So if I can win a couple in a row, I'm in it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's my league now.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. I mean, I still set my lineup just because it's fun in the lag league, but like I never. I mean, I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any chance at this point. So.
No, there's no chance that you're going to make the playoffs. Hell no.
Yeah.
It's so competitive in our league, and I love it. I love when like you're in a league of like 12 dudes that like all kind of know what they're doing. 12 is the perfect number for me.
Yeah.
Not 10, because then you can have a little oversaturation on your team.
Yeah.
You got a good 12-team league. That's it.
There's going to be no one in the waivers.
Yeah.
Like basically.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if your team is shit, good luck.
Yeah.
Make a trade.
And if you find someone in the waivers, it is like a gold mine.
It's a gold mine, or it's like such a risk. You're like, they had 25 points last week, but every other week they've had 7. So it's like, do I start them? Or
yes.
But,
and so you and I have just turned 21 in the last year or so.
22.
Right. You turned 22. I'm turning 22 this Saturday, but we have just become recently of age to sports bet.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I thought you were going to say drinking, and I was like, why would you say that, though?
No, but you've told me,
yes.
You have mentioned to me in the past that you are getting into sports betting. What does this pertain?
Well, it's a lot of stress.
It's so much stress.
It's a lot of stress.
That's why I stopped doing it, man, honestly, because you're looking at it for like 5 hours at like 3 o'clock trying to make every scenario of parlays work, and you're like
going to every site, like, top scoring leaders, Mexico national team 2022. Like, you know what I mean? Like digging through like corner stats. How many corner kicks have been taken in previous World Cups? It's absurd, but like it's such a rush, and it makes watching
the best
almost 10 times better in a way.
You can watch any sport if you have
and be hype about
freaking money on it. Like you are into that, whatever it is. There's a ton of people that are like, especially from New York, you'll find people that are like, oh, I'm not into sports, I'm not into this, right? And it's definitely just the way they've been introduced to it, because sports are just stories that I really enjoy at the end of the day. And I say, put some money on a game, watch that thing. You will be hyped. You'll learn the rules. Trust me. You'll learn the rules. You'll see what's going on.
You'll want to know what's happening. You'll pay attention. Totally.
I guarantee you. So have you had any big hits?
The biggest ones I've had were on the Giants, actually. Okay. When they were on that sort of winning streak along with the Jets.
You were just riding them because they were the underdogs.
Yeah, every week.
Okay.
I did a parlay with Jets and Giants to win every week.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then a couple weeks I did, along with that, I did like Barkley to score, Bellinger to score, and like them to win by 7, or it was like a parlay of some sort.
Yeah.
And that same day, both hit. It was the Jets Giants won for like 200, and Bellinger anytime touchdown scorer, Saquon anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has over this yards, and that was 400. So I won like 600, 700 in one day.
It feels good.
It felt so good, bro. It felt, and I like withdraw that shit immediately.
Yeah. Give me that. I don't trust myself with all this money.
Exactly. Well, I always like take out like a little bit at least to like whatever I've won, but yesterday I won 140 on the Australia.
Oh, really? Okay.
Cameroon game,
Dude, the way to do it too that people don't realize is to just take your small victories when you can.
Yes.
If you see a line that's just working, that's how you win more over time. They try to get you like go for the big money, try to get 100K in one thing. No, take the small victories, keep staying in the positive. And then over time you'll see.
That exactly. Like just don't like the parlays they make for you, like, fuck it. Like, single betting is a lot of times way more likely to happen. And then way more, like, you can just keep going for longer because you don't run out of money. Like, I don't know.
I can't even imagine how much money betting sites have made of people just putting like $1. People just betting like $1 to try to win like 3,000.
Yep.
Like, dude, you're not gonna do that.
We were just talking about, my dad and I were just talking about this last night because he was talking to somebody like at the coffee shop or someone, and they were like, yeah, this is what I do. I put a 25 leg parlay. I put $1 on it, and it like I have a chance to win $100,000. It's like,
dude, that's like playing the lottery. Yeah, that is playing the lottery. Yeah.
Why do it? Yeah, like you're throwing away your dollar. You know, like just
totally.
But the crazy thing about this World Cup, actually, for betting, I mean, I don't, you know,
I haven't been betting. I haven't been betting, but I've been
but you haven't been betting it. But
there's a lot of underdogs.
You know that the upsets have been insane. I saw a stat that said, if you had bet $100 so far, if you bet $100 on every underdog in the World Cup, you'd be up $2,300.
Okay. Wow.
$2,300.
It's not that crazy, but that's pretty good.
No, it's not crazy. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about you're not looking at any stats or lines or anything. You're just blindly putting $100 on the underdog.
Just on every underdog.
Game.
So that's taking into account the losses too.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Just on the Saudi Arabia, Argentina.
If you had just blindly just put 100 and then you'd be up.
You'd be up 2,300 because you'd won 2,500 alone on the Saudi Arabia upset. Then there's Japan Germany upset. There's like there's been tons.
Yeah. If the one hits, man.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
If you do it for all these, it's been like 30 games so far. Like if you had spent, what was that, $3,000 on all that, you would be up 23.
And if you just weren't an idiot and didn't pick like Mexico over Argentina, or like what team is just definitely losing, or any team to beat France, right? You'd be up a lot.
That's the thing. I mean, but then Tunisia beat France yesterday.
Oh, really?
1-0.
Tunisia beat France?
Yeah. Because France was already in the next round, so they didn't start any of their...
Okay, but I bet that affected the odds.
What?
France was still probably the favorite, but...
Oh, yeah. They were the favorite by fucking...
Yeah.
If you put 100 on Tunisia, it was plus 800 for Tunisia to win. It was like $1,600 or something.
I remember my best run was the March Madness tournament. That's when you can... Oh, my God.
I never do basketball, really.
Oh, dude, that's when it's like plus like 2,000 sometimes for like a game, right?
Yeah,
like for like a 15 seed to beat a 2 seed.
Right.
But it's like that could happen.
But it could happen.
What was the team?
Or
what
cover
was the
at
team?
least, maybe. If you do spreads.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget what team it was. Oral Roberts. Oh my God. Me and my friends, Oral Roberts, we were like, Oral. Like the whole night we're all cheering. It was like 8 of us. People that, again, I told them like they don't watch basketball. They don't know what's going on with the tournament. We each put in like, I think it was just like $5.
Separately or together?
Together.
Okay.
And it was the last like 6 minutes of the game.
That's
right?
a great idea.
Just watching.
Pull some money.
We just all did it, right? And then we're like, okay, fuck it. Like if we win, we all get $40, right?
Right.
And then they won, and we were just going crazy. It was all of us. It was an amazing time. And so then, Oral Roberts in the next round, they were playing. I think it was Florida, and we all like got together. We're like, and then we put a lot more than $5 on it, and then they won again, and we were like, yes, Oral. And then they lost, but still, it was a great time. It's just people need to see sports betting more as a form of entertainment.
It's also so soul crushing though.
Yeah.
So
it hurts.
Yeah, it really, and it makes you can see how it's addicting. I mean, like it is addicting in a way. I mean, it is, but when you lose, especially, you're like, all right, let me just, like put another, $20 on it, and like that could add up. You know what I mean? If you're not careful.
Yeah, it's just 20. All right, let's just see.
It's just 20.
Yeah,
That's that could be 4 bets.
Yeah,
like one of them's
and you
gonna
gotta
hit.
be careful. That's why I stopped doing it, because it was mostly just like, I was like, I'm getting way too stressed about this, and I'm worrying about this too much.
It's ruining my day.
And I'm like slowly losing money. Like, come on, like let's just stay focused on making money first, and then we can worry about like sports betting when I can like bet like $1,000 on some shit. I know that's gonna happen.
Money. Yeah. But I actually recently tallied up on my computer I went through every app I had, which was like 7 different betting apps. Like in the last year, because they always do the promo.
Yeah, and then you take advantage of the promo for sure.
So I did that with like a million apps. Right? And I tallied up my like winnings and losses, whatever.
Wow.
And as of a couple weeks ago, I was plus 740.
That's great
for the year.
That's insane. And you're only getting better.
But since then, I've made some mistakes, and I think I'm probably more in the 500, maybe 600 range by now, because there was a game when I had like 4 parlays of like what recently I guessed the entire World Cup slate for the day. I guessed every match correctly. It was I want to find it because it was literally just like, I don't know. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay.
It was Brazil to beat Serbia, Switzerland to beat Cameroon, Portugal to beat Ghana, and a draw between Uruguay and South Korea. And I just like got it all right.
All of it.
Yeah. It was only 130 because I've only bet 10.
But that's a good 130.
But
it feels good.
After that, I was like, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I like put hella
yeah, once you win one, that's the thing. You just don't want to stop.
You're just like, oh, bet. I'm a god.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can make money this way.
That's that's where they get you.
I remember I was not going to hit the next day on anything. And I was like, damn, it's tied 1-1 Senegal, Netherlands. I was like, well, I'm going to have no money left in my account if I let it ride because everything's going to lose, right? So I was like, it's the 85th minute and it's tied 1-1. Let me just put a fat bet on it to be a tie and make a little bit of money left.
Oh.
I put 100 on a tie, bro. And guess who scored in like the 92nd minute? Yeah. And I was just
Senegal.
like, why did I do that? Like, I was like, why did I do that? Like,
it was one of those bets where you're like, no way.
You're just like,
do I lose
wait,
this?
what was going through?
Yeah, let me make a quick $5 here.
Yeah, it was like $20. It was like 100 to make 20. It was like, let me just make the 20 back.
Yeah.
But I bet on the other 2 bets.
Yeah.
Nope. Like, just one thing I've learned.
That's soul crushing.
Just once you've made the bets and it's happening, don't try to correct or like double down or do it. Just let it ride because whatever you're gonna do, it's just gonna cost.
The deeper you go down this hole of addiction, the worse it's gonna get.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of, I have some bets for the 2 o'clock. I just put 20 on both the underdogs of the 2 o'clock games because like there's been so many underdogs.
Yeah, you're just riding that statistic that you learned that you would be up.
Yep.
Good for
Because
you.
Japan, Spain's already in.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna care who wins. They're already in the next round.
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing for a win, obviously, but they're not going to be playing their starters.
No.
Japan needs a win, and they're kind of dirty.
I'd say Japan wins this game.
That's why I put, and the line was like plus, 600 or something for Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I put.
I might have to get on my app right now. Plus 600 for Japan. No.
It was plus 750. I put $20 for 170.
I think you might get that.
And I just for fun, the line for Costa Rica, Germany. Plus 2,200 for Costa Rica to beat Germany.
I don't think that's happening though, but
me neither.
That'd be crazy.
But I put $20 to win 460.
And you might as well make one that parlays them.
Nah. And waste my $1. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think.
Anyways, that's the sports betting segment. But I'm hoping this year I can remain positive and build it up.
No, I think you will. I think we should run this podcast back in a year's time.
Oh.
And see what's going down. What day is it today?
I'll be like homeless and like
it's December 1st. That's perfect.
Okay. We'll never forget.
So December 1st,
2023.
2023.
Yeah.
We will run this podcast back. How about that?
And we'll see
what's going on. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Declan, thank you for coming on today, bro.
Of course.
It was a pleasure. Much love, my guy.
My son.
Yes, sir. All right. Peace, guys. Thank you for watching this far if you have.
Peace, YouTube. Be the goats.